Okay, so today I really want to talk about this really interesting, well, not necessarily interesting, it's really fascinating, so fascinating. Today we're talking about a Facebook group whose plan is to raid Area 51. Uh, it's really crazy. You probably heard about it by now, but it's because it's literally all over the place. There's even Instagram accounts that are promising to live stream it on September 20th, which is when it's going to happen. It's going to happen on September 20th of this year. So in like 2 months, apparently a bunch of people are going to try and raid Area 51. Now, this is really funny. I just think it's the most hilarious thing that's probably happened in a while. So basically, I don't really know when this started or what happened, but I remember seeing this, I want to say a week ago, 2 weeks ago almost, and I saw it on Instagram, but like not even on Facebook. I saw it on Instagram, and I thought, haha, that's a funny meme. But then I was like, wait, is that real? Then I was like, nah, there's no way that's real. Fast forward today to today, it's kind of blown up. It's gotten really big. I kid you not, yesterday, there was 200,000 people that had signed up for this whole event, coming here to gather and raid Area 51. The 200,000 people signed that thing saying, yes, I'm going, or hey, I'm interested. I'm going to go. I'm going to go to Area 51 and raid it. That's what people have been saying. And today at 7 o'clock, it's had 519,000 people. 500,000 people have gathered to on this Facebook page to agree to raid Area 51, and it's insane. I'm honestly perplexed by this. 500,000 people have signed up for this, and that's insane, especially since just like not even a few hours ago it was at like 400,000. So it's jumping. Like yesterday it was only at 200,000. It's almost tripled in a day. That's insane. So what exactly are their plans? So I decided to actually visit the Facebook page and got some information. So their plan, and this is what their plan is according to their Facebook page, and I quote, "We will all meet up at the Area 51 Alien Center tourist attraction and coordinate our entry. If we Naruto run, we can move faster than their bullets. Let's see them aliens." End quote. That is their exact plan. That's their plan. That's all they have, kind of. Someone else ended up posting what their plan is, and I'll get to that in a second. But their plan is to literally Naruto run all the way up on the base, and just try and dodge the bullets. So this is kind of insane in and of itself. Like the plan itself is pretty insane, but you got to think like. It's at almost 600,000, but by tomorrow afternoon, I can guarantee it's going to be at 600,000, if not 800,000. It's going up. It's getting huge. So the question remains: how serious are these people? Now, I want to say a majority of them are joking, especially since especially just based off of their plan here that's on their official Facebook page, especially since you see who is behind all of this stuff, who is hosting all of this stuff. So I did a little bit digging, and it's not even really that much digging. If you go to the actual Facebook page, you go to the Facebook group or whatever, it says hosted by, and then it gives you, two usernames. So this whole event is hosted by two accounts. One account is called Shitposting Because I'm in Shambles. That's the name of the first Facebook page. And it's also being run by or hosted by, I want to say, Smiley-Con. It's spelled kind of weird, but that's how it is. So these two people are hosting this thing, and this is pretty messed up. This is pretty weird, crazy, wild shit post to put out there and just have blow up. This thing has gotten a lot of traction. Like I said, it's at 519,000 when I last looked, and there's no way it's not going to be at like 600,000, 700,000, even 800,000 possibly by tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow night. A lot of people are migrating towards this. This is becoming a pretty huge deal. So my question is, how many of these people are actually going to go through with this? How many people are actually going to do this? How many people are somewhat serious? Now, I thought to myself, if at least if half of them are serious about this and going there, that's 200,000 people right there, like right off the rip. Like 200,000 people are going. If you're taking 50% of the people, and 50% of the people are being serious about this. So I was like, nah, yeah, no, that's way too generous. So let's shrink that number down. Let's say 1% of the people are actually going to follow through with this. How many people do you think are actually going to do this? Well, 5,200. 5,200 people are going to do this legitimately if 1% of the people that signed this and agreed to do this are actually going to go through with this. That's 5,000 people. That's still a lot of people. That's insane. I don't think there's ever been 5,000 people gathering to do something like this before. This is insane. This kind of thing has never happened before. So let's move on. Let's move on to what this pinned comment is. And what this guy's plan is. So this guy who commented or made a post or something in this Facebook group, it ended up getting pinned, so it's at the top of their Facebook group page, so I was able to read it and see it and everything. So it starts with, giving basically a rundown of like, hey guys, we need a plan, yada yada yada, and then it goes on to say the basic idea is that the Kyles form the front line. If we feed them enough monster energy and say that anyone in Camo is their stepdad and their entire base is made of drywall, then they will go berserk and become an impenetrable wall. Then the rock throwers will throw pebbles at the inevitable resistance. We don't want to hurt them, we just want to annoy them enough to not shoot the Kyles as often. I want to highlight that the fact that they said as often. They will not shoot the Kyles as often is this guy's plan. So, moving forward, while all of this is happening, the two Naruto runner battalion the two Naruto runner battalions will run full speed around the north and south flank and shadow clone jutsu, effectively tripling our numbers and overwhelm the base. That is this guy's plan. So this specific comment, I want to point out, was a joke, or at least it's played out as a joke for a lot of reasons. For obviously you can't use shadow clone jutsu in real life. That's not a real thing, and the Kyle thing is obviously a joke as well. But they go on to say like, P.S. Government, don't like put me on any list or something like that. I don't remember exactly what they said. They said something like that, and they were basically like, look, this is just a joke. I'm not responsible if anyone actually does this, so there's people that are not taking this seriously. I definitely want to say that the people that are hosting this, and especially this guy who seems to have commented and got his comment pinned, these hosts, the people hosting this, they're definitely not taking this seriously, but I think they need to kind of think a little bit more about this, kind of think about what they're doing exactly, because this is insane. Like I said, they had like 500,000 people going after this, 519,000 since I last looked. And that is a lot, okay? That's a lot for anything. So if by some crazy out of the world chance, 500,000 people are actually serious about this and they all actually go to Area 51, what is the people at Area 51 going to do? What is the government going to do? I'm like legitimately flabbergasted by this. Like, I have no idea what's going to happen, so I'm honestly excited about this. I really kind of want at least that 1% to go out there and actually try and do this. I don't condone this. I'm not saying go do it, but I think it would be absolutely insane. It would definitely be, it's funny, but if this happens, even at this 1%, I guess you would have to say that even if this 1% come in here, this is going to end up becoming the biggest national security breach like ever happen ever, and it's going to make history. And honestly, I think it's already made history, just because of how crazy and insane this is. So let's say it is the 1%. What exactly is that 1% going to be at? I honestly expected this thing to reach 1 million. I'm not even joking. It's halfway there. We still got 2 months to go. I really feel like this thing is going to end up reaching 1 million before you know it. And 1% of like 1 million is like, isn't that like 10,000? So you could end up with 10,000 people raiding this place, if not a few thousand. If like 1% or half of a percent is serious about this, you're going to end up with thousands of people, regardless of how you look at it. And they're all going to come here. So my question is, what exactly is the U.S. government going to do? The U.S. government, honestly, I think they should take this a little bit seriously, especially since they got 500,000 signatures on this. Like, not necessarily signatures, but 500,000 people interested in doing this. The U.S. government's got to take this seriously, either way you look at it. So, like, literally just in case, because, like, there's always that chance. There's a 1% chance. They need to be ready for it, because if there's that 1% chance and they're like, oh, this is 1% chance, let's not do it, and 5,000 people show up, and there you go. So what I'm thinking they're going to do is if this group comes here and the government's obviously going to be prepared. Obviously, they're aware of this at this point. This thing has exploded. You know, this thing is all over the media. This thing is all over the news and stuff. So, I think the U.S. government, if I can't. They can't just mow people down. They can't just like start killing people, you know, that are crossing this line, because, you know, you're talking about thousands of people that the government is just straight up murdering, you know, for reasons, but still. So what I'm thinking is that they're just going to end up treating this like a riot situation. But the problem is, if it's not 1% of people and it's several 100,000 people that actually follow through with this, which I don't actually see happening, but if by some crazy chance, by some crazy out of this world event happens and 100,000 people show up, they can't treat it like a riot situation. There's no possible way they're ever going to be able to fight that, you know, because 100,000 people, that's a pretty substantial army. I mean, you could literally ruin anything with 100,000 people if like, all 100,000 people are like know what their goal is, you know. So this, I just think this whole thing is weird. I'm very curious to see what happens. I honestly want at least that 1% to go there. If nothing else, they all kind of stand out in front, like right on the border or whatever, and they just kind of protest. Because, like, this is technically one of the biggest protests ever. Like, this is insane. This is just so insane. I really don't know what else to say, but yeah, this is just insane. People, I don't know how many people are taking this seriously, but even if 1% or even 0.5% is taking this seriously, like 0.5%, that's still a couple thousand people right there. So, and you know there's at least a handful of people taking this seriously. You know there is. Anyway, I think we're going to end the video here. This is definitely a little bit different than what I normally post and upload and stuff like that. But I thought, you know, this thing's exploding. I just find this very interesting and funny and just crazy. I really want to talk about it. So I just decided to sit in the closet and talk about it. So here we are. Here's the video. So all that being said, please do not forget to like, subscribe, share, do all those wonderful things, because when you do those wonderful things, you get access to wonderful content. But not just that, you get to become wonderful yourself. Anyway, like I said, thank you for watching however you watched, and remember to stay wonderful.